Good evening, everyone. My name is Aditi. Today I am presenting an article review of Positive and Negative Conflict Paradigm written by LUS Kaffinger 2025. This article introduces a new way of understanding conflict and is instead of viewing conflict only as harmful, the author Kaffinger also argues that conflict has two sides. The first one is negative and second one is positive conflict. And he bases this idea on metaphysical peace transformation and spiritual synthesis theory. Now coming to its overview, this article makes four major points. The first one is new framework. The author proposes a positive and negative conflict paradigm which separates conflict into destructive and constructive forms. Second is metaphysical grounding. The theory is not just a sociological, it also connects conflict to morality, spirituality, and metaphysics. And third one is conflict is more than social and political. That is, according to the author, conflict has also has a moral, spiritual, as well as ethical dimension. Now, the most important one, the aim or the goal of the article, and the goal is to show that conflict can destroy, but conflict can also create justice, balance, and transformation as well. Now, coming to its key argument, the first one is redefining the concept of conflict. That is, according to the author, Kaffinger, Kaffinger redefines conflict in a very moral way. According to him, conflict is equals to tensions between justice and injustice. He sees it as a struggle between light versus dark, justice versus oppression. According to him, negative conflict is ego driven, oppressive, also aimed at domination, and always create harm and imbalance in society. And according to him, positive conflict is, you know, morally struggle for justice and freedom, and it also aims to restore balance, helps correct wrongdoing, and can lead to the transformation. And the main idea of this argument is that conflict is not always bad, but some conflicts are necessary for justice. Now coming to its second argument, that is metaphysical foundation. This is the spiritual heart of the article, and why is so? That according to the author, peace is equals to the resonance of divine order within the existence. It means that when society is aligned with divine or moral order, there should be peace in that. And second is negative conflict, that is misalignment with divine or moral order. It's like when injustice or evil rises in the society. According to him, political conflict is equals to consciousness, ethical efforts to correct injustice, that is non-violence, but moral resistance. Now here conflict become a more purifying force that restores the harmony and balance. Talking about the methodology of this article, that is, here Kaffinger uses four combined methods. The first one is phenomenological analysis, that is, studying conflict as a lived experience. Second is historical illustrations, that is, using examples from history. Third one is metaphysical integration, that is, adding spiritual and moral perspective to the article. And fourth one is theoretical synthesis, that is creating a model that combine all these of methods. Now, these methods help him to analyze conflict in a very structured and multidimensional ways. Now, the fifth argument of this article is integration with metaphysical peace transformation and spiritual sustainability theory. Now, according to this, societal imbalance generates corrective tensions, and this corrective tension is positive conflict that purifies society, restores justice, and returns society to its moral order. Now, overall, conflict is a part of divine corrective process. Now, this article is very unique because it first modeled to clarify or to separate conflict into positive and negative forms. Secondly, it integrates metaphysics, morality, and social theory. and it also reframes um, the conflict as a transformative method, and it also tries to revolutionize the conflict theory by adding spiritual dimensions. Now, talking about the strengths and weaknesses of this article, strengths are like innovation, integration of metaphysics and peace studies is mentioned here, and a strong base of moral foundation is also there. It also uses historical examples, and it has a clear theoretical frameworks. Now, coming to its limitations or weaknesses, here metaphysical ideas may not convince the scientific and empirical researchers, and there is also lack of data or surveys or stats. And in this article, the author might idealize conflict at a very high range, and there is also risk of misuse, that people may wrongly justify violence as a positive conflict. Now, talking about the recommendation or the future directions of this article, it suggests the test the idea of positive conflict in social movement. It also said that convert metaphysical concept into social science languages. It also examined risk and possibilities of all misuses. It also explored how policymakers and peace builders can apply this in their theories. Now, I would like to conclude my article review by saying that in this article, Kafenga expands conflict theory beyond social or political dimensions to a moral and metaphysical process. And in this article, positive conflict is necessary for justice and transformation and peace. And he also talked about it. And in this article of negative and positive peace paradigm, this paradigm encourages ethical and transformative approaches to the conflict resolutions. Thank you.